I think we are done.
Yeah, let's get questions
If you
from
have a
our audience.
question,
We are ranting at a quiet audience.
let's see. Those are suffering from poverty.
Any questions?
Any question?
Oh, now Helen
Question.
Serengo is asking if we have told you that you are not Jesus Christ, and now your own parents need saving.
What do you do?
What do you do?
And she has asked her, there are things you need to do to establish if it's a genuine.
Yeah, it's a genuine concern.
Please.
Or concern.
Let me start with this. You should be able to separate and distinguish between needs and wants. If it's a want, forget about it. Okay?
They should have done this for themselves.
Yes, that was
they have
your grandfather's work.
Yeah, they have been in life for longer than you, and they have not been able to do it. Now the only things that are supposed to be your immediate concern is the needs.
The needs. If somebody is sick and he's your parent or your sibling, you have to take charge and take them to hospital.
There's that book I told you to read and you refused to read it.
I just read the cover.
It's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
I just read the cover.
Like, it looks ugly, but I want to use those words. Just, you will forgive me. This is a rant. So I don't owe people
an apology.
He's saying that the subtle art of not giving a fuck is not that you don't care a fuck anyway, but carefully selecting things which are truly fuck worthy.
Yes.
He actually puts it that way. That being able to give a fuck about things that deserve the facts.
So filter out things. Let me put it in a nice way. Everything, our brain filters things. Your body filters things. When you eat, it filters. So we were built to filter out things. But what we who have been poor do, when we just see a need, we throw in money. We don't filter what really genuinely requires.
He puts it very nicely that in every day we only have a given package of a fixed number of facts in our lives. If you just dish facts just like that, then you will run out of them.
Exactly.
So he even mentions, he says that these facts don't grow on trees. So you can't be like there's a season for facts and we are just picking facts and throwing them at people, and people are enjoying facts as though they are mangoes. So you have to carefully select things that you give a hoot about.
There's a question there. Have we answered your question?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It doesn't mean you don't care at all, but you carefully choose the cares you care about.
Yes. Okay? You filter things.
Joy is asking if you have already experienced it.
Exactly.
And now you don't want your children to experience the same trouble, so that they don't start by doing your work.
We avoid all these things, blackmails. We say the first thing you need the information. You need information. Okay.
Invest in knowledge and skills.
Exactly. So you need information. Once you have that information, also pass it down. The biggest thing you can give your children, it's not a big name, it's not a lot of money, it's giving them the right training, what others would call education. Have we not seen children left with billions of money? They fight and kill each other.
Yeah.
What benefit that you left for them?
They are financially illiterate. They don't know what it means to save. They don't know what it means to invest. They don't know what it means to actually make sense of basic QuickBooks or basic books, financial statements. They don't understand what it means to actually invest in knowledge. They don't know how to seek knowledge. Let your children learn that there's a whole big body of knowledge from which they can tap to get themselves out of problems. And by doing this, you'll invest in something that they can have for themselves.
Yes.
that no one can take away from them.
You see, we have seen people who have worked very hard. They came from poverty, let's say families with generation poverty. And somebody like me works very hard and I get married and God forbid I die. We have seen family come and take it all.
Yes.
If you had taught your children and even instilled it in your wife, they can still go and make more.
Yeah.
There's a late lawyer who died. He was a senator. Senator for, I think, Machakos? Or McQueen? Mutua, I think.
Yes.
He said that if you... No, we need to...
Mutula Kilonzo.
Mutula Kilonzo, yes.
Yeah. He left 2 bearded lawyers.
Now, Mutula Kilonzo said one day that you can take everything that I have. In 1 year, I would have made the same. So if you give your children the information, okay, you give them wisdom, nobody's able to take it from you.
Yeah.
I'm able to take this shot from Eric if I can beat him very well, but I can't take the knowledge.
But I'm very sure I can't beat him.
We are not sure of that.
I'm potentially dangerous. So the only reason why I'm not slapping him for no reason is because I am a good person.
Are you sure?
It's virtue. It is not weakness.
Okay.
So what my brother is trying to say is that you need to instill in your children these wisdoms, this knowledge, these attitudes. Attitude is very important. By the way, it is better to have spoiled children than hurt children.
Exactly.
It's better to have children who are spoiled. Spoil them with love than hurt them and leave them going out here seeking for attention from people who don't give a hoot.
Let's not use the other word.
I know you don't like the word, but that is what
exactly.
That is that guy's intellectual property.
So, thank you guys.
Yes, another question.
Mora has a question.
Yeah.
Can you deny yourself personal saving? Or let me give an example. Have a sibling
Yeah.
who is supposed to
You have a sibling
you're earning
in school.
10K, can use 5K. You either save this 5K or spend it. So can you deny yourself?
That's what we have
So
been.
what Mora is saying is that you have a situation where you earn maybe 10,000 bucks. That's how rich people call money.
Bucks. So you have started being rich.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have 10,000 bucks every month as your earnings, and then you have an opportunity. You can use 5,000 for your personal needs, and you have 5,000 to save. But then you have this sister of yours
who needs
exactly 5,000 every month for her education. Can you deny yourself the saving so that you can invest the 5,000 on your sister? What do you think?
Now those are tricky situations which in real world they don't actually happen like that.
They don't normally happen like that.
But let's say it's hypothetical.
Let's give it a chance.
Let's give it a chance.
Yeah, things have chances.
Yes. So in such a case, you will have to ask yourself what Rick was saying. Is paying your sister's school fee a fact-worthy thing?
Yeah.
Okay. And if you find that it's a fact-worthy thing, you will then have to give it a fact.
In my thinking.
Now Eric is different. What you will also do, sometimes remember, sometimes when you want to do good, you will always have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
If you want to do good, you have to sacrifice.
And one of the good is saving.
Okay.
Even saving requires sacrifice.
Sacrifice. So me, what I will say, if it's something that is really needed and you had started doing it, okay, because you seem to be doing it. So what you need to do, you have to reduce your own expenditure. Don't sacrifice saving. Yeah. Just reduce some part of your expenditure. If you don't think you need nyama during this particular time, you can save the little, from things which are luxurious so that you do saving, but don't forgo saving at all.
Yeah, you don't also use all the other money on the education. Remember, this is not your duty.
Yeah.
You are just sacrificing for it to happen, and you are not the only person who can do it.
Yes.
So sometimes it is good to even slice some part of that 5,000 to throw into savings.
And you can ask, can you tell your brother or your nini or the other siblings to try so that you get a lighter burden?
No, they will always do that, even if you don't tell them.
Exactly.
As long as they realize that you have reached a limit and they have noticed it, they will look for other means.
Exactly.
They have to also input something. And maybe you can even deny them 2,000 of that 5,000 so that they can look for it by themselves. If they truly care about their own education, they will make effort to get it done.
And Mora, I hope you know that at some point you struggled to pay your school fee. So
your own
school fee, you struggled and paid.
It is their time.
Now, why is it that you don't want your sister to struggle
also do the same
and pay her school fee?
Leave alone even that. These are not your children. Remind yourself that several times that you don't even have children yet. Sometimes there's a day one of my brothers called me and was telling me the way my daughter is going for baptism. I need to send some money for baptismal offerings.
That's not your daughter.
I sat myself down and I reminded myself, Eric, you don't have a baby mama. Eric, you don't have a baby mama.
Hallelujah.
And when I called back, I say, which daughter of mine?
Mine.
I don't have a daughter. And baptism is supposed to be free.
Exactly. Baptism should be
free.
Those are some of the things, emotional blackmail.
Because it has come like, oh, you are this.
You should have called me to go and baptize that girl for free.
For free.
I just cycle, then go and baptize that girl.
Exactly. For free. Like, always don't look at money as the solution to everyone's problem. Even when they want school fees, it is not all about the school fees. I went to my brother's school and I asked the school bazaar, how much is to this year's fees? That is in Form 3. Because he had just come from Form 2 and he was averagely doing fine. I said, if I can pay his school fees, he can relieve himself of the thought that there might be lack, then he can concentrate on his
studies.
Education.
What happened?
I paid all the fees and gave him a lot of pocket money. The first thing he did with the pocket money is to buy himself a phone and get himself a girlfriend.
And left? And
biology dropped from 70s to as low as 5%.
Then what happened? He was expelled.
He was expelled. He was suspended 3 times.
Well, your money is being
your money. This is the first time he started being hard-headed. So most of the time, school fees is not the only problem they are facing. So you may solve the school fees problem. Then there is another problem, which you can't throw money into. Always don't sacrifice money. Don't sacrifice all your money because it is not the only solution of the problem at hand.
Yeah, let me also help Mora. When I was in high school, there's a statement which when I was in high school, I believe it's true, that where there's a will, there's always a way. When I was in high school, Form 3 and Form 4, here in Mathare, you can go to that school called Golden Bridge Academy. I was never sent for school fee, and I was the student who had the highest school fee balance. But because the school knew I was carrying the name, they even registered me.
The world gives way to him that shows that he knows where he is going.
So the school fee is not a problem. If your sibling decides to perform in school, no head teacher is going to allow that student to go home. Those who are being sent home are students who are not serious.
Or they are just average.
Or they are just average.
The better term is mediocre. You know, mediocre is average, but it sounds worse.
It sounds... Okay, last question.
I think we can get the last one.
Yes.
You
had a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can, like yourself, you come even before your parents. You have to spend on yourself.
The Bible says, love.
No, you remember.
That is really
okay.
Mora's question is not heard by our audience.
Oh, okay.
That whom do you start with? Do you
Yourself?
start with yourself or you start with your parents?
I have a very quick answer.
Uh-huh.
The Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. You have to start with yourself. You can't love your parents if you don't love yourself.
So my question,
Uh,
would you rather build for your parents a house or you build yours?
Oh,
Oh, that's
she's now asking a very interesting
interesting
question.
question. Yeah.
Would you rather
Mm.
start by building your parents a house
Mm.
before
Building.
building for yourself? The question should be better, can be better phrased this way. Would you rather house your parents before you house yourself? If, you know, sometimes you have a house, only that it is rented.
Exactly.
If you have a rented house, it means yourself, you are
You're
already
housed.
housed. Only that you don't own it.
Mm.
But your parents don't have that house. That is
Exactly.
different. But if it is you, homeless, having nowhere to sleep, and your parents also have nowhere to sleep, where do you start? You have a home first.
You have to have a roof above your head.
Your head first.
And most probably, the situation where Mora is saying, do you build for them, does not necessarily mean they don't have a house.
No, they have
they
a place.
they have a house that is not a house in your own view.
If you look at UN United Nations habitat definition of a house,
Mhm.
it doesn't deserve to be called a house.
Exactly.
But when you look at yourself,
Mm.
you are actually living in a 2-bedroom house in Ruaka.
Mm.
So actually, you are far much ahead. You have already taken care of yourself. If you were to sacrifice rent for it, then it would be stupid. But if you are able to pay your rent,
And-
it means you can sustain your housing for even 10 years. That means you are able to do what?
To build for
To
them.
build for them a better house if their housing is not.
And build within your means.
And build within your means.
That's one thing I learned. And don't use your savings to do such kind of projects unless the saving was directly directed towards building that
Towards
particular
building.
house.
And don't build to show off. Before
Yeah.
you are out of poverty, the people who build to show off, you have nothing to show off. Yourself, you are poor.
Mm.
You are struggling to get out of poverty. So don't build a house to your parents to show off.
Exactly.
Remember, love is not a show off. Love is knowing that you need to help somebody address a pressing need and you care for them. And love is not by telling the whole world that my father has the best house. No, because you can't even afford that best house.
I
Don't
don't-
take a lot of loans
To build.
and build a house
Mm.
just because you want to show off to other people about it. No.
And something I've known or I've seen, your father or your mother can decide to leave that house
Anytime.
anytime. And you have built it. And they not even consult you.
Let's take
Let's take the last question.
Purity's question, which should be the last one.
Other than that, parents are
Mhm.
now because not like still doing what over there because I am earning. That is showing that I am earning. Yes, everything.
Oh, what
You
Purity
can
is
echo
saying,
that question. Eh?
what Purity is saying is that maybe you are now, you used not to earn. You come from a family, maybe a middle class family. They have enough to take care of themselves. They can pay school fees, they can address most of their needs and even wants. They can even go for holidays. But now you are a child in this house, you now get to a point where you are earning. Remember, this is not generational poverty because already your parents can take care of themselves. So you are not starting from doing
You are
your
not
parents'
trying
house.
to do from your grandfather's work.
So Purity is asking, in this case, you realize that parents, after realizing that you are now earning, although they can take care of themselves and every other issues that they have, they try to delegate some of their duties, their responsibilities to you because you are now earning. So How do you address such a situation?
Can you go first? I want to think so that I give Purity good concept, because now it's out of generational
It's
poverty.
not about generational poverty, but it has a potential of starting poverty in your own space.
your own space.
So, in my view, the first thing, remember that it is not your responsibility to take care of your siblings, whether they are poor or rich. It's not your responsibility. You are taking it as a personal sacrifice. So you have to understand how far you have to go. And if it comes to a point where it comes at the expense of your savings and your personal growth, then you have to discard it.
And another point, it comes to most people don't learn responsibilities early in life, and they may grow foolishly even into adulthood without ever learning how to take responsibility. So some parents will actually tell you you will be paying electricity, okay? They are just teaching you how to take responsibility. So and they will actually do it in some way that doesn't stress you.
Yeah.
So you have to have that in mind. We are not telling people to avoid responsibilities. You need to learn responsibility as a young person.
And carefully choose which ones are
take.
worth your hard-earned income.
Okay.
I think we have come to an end of this rant. I hope you learned a lot from the rant, and we are not experts of poverty eradication. We just came here to rant, and we thank you for hearing our emotional rant. We hope that it made sense, but if it did not make sense, we owe you no sense. It was a rant.
It was a rant.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching, and you can, if they have some comments, we can have another section.
Yeah, if you have issues that you want us to address in another session of rant, then we will be able to see if we can reflect on our personal experiences about it.
And if you find this useful, please share.
Share with your friends who are also struggling to get out of generational poverty and improving upward social mobility in Africa and the entire world.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Erokamana.